Hello guys, my name's Roland. Welcome back to Wings of Duty. Today I'm going to be taking out the B5N2 Kate. And a little notice before we get started. As soon as this video goes up, be sure to check out Guadalcanal Historic Mode, Password 3, of course. Because, I was going to do a Kate squad, and I was going to do recording. So if you guys want to join, remember, as soon as this video goes up, Guadalcanal Historic Password 3. Just a reminder if you guys want to join in to be in the Kate squad. Now, I'm going to do some training actually with the Kate. See if, I'm still as good as I am with it. Now, the Kate is, of course, a beginning torpedo bomber. When you first have it, it has 6 50-kilogram bombs. Probably the most bombs of any sort of beginner plane. Now, of course, the heaviest one's going to the Stuka. But back in the older days of Wings of Duty, when, the Stuka costed money and all that, and stuff, you see, that's my problem with the B5N2K. It sucks at taking off sometimes. Now, that might have been my throttle, and might have not. But anyways, the Kate during the time, had quite the bomb load for a beginning airplane. And it's one of the only beginner planes that actually has, a torpedo. Now, if you're not pay-to-play player, this is the only torpedo bomber you may have in your arsenal. Now, here's the ultimate test for a Kate. Trying to stink and take off. Now, you see there, I just barely made it. Now, the Kate does get some dirt on it because, it's not that good of a torpedo bomber. It's weak. A few hits of it and you can go down. And that's that's kind of accurate for, Japanese airplanes, They were meant to be sleek and fast, to outmaneuver American planes. And during the early stages of the Pacific War, that's just what they did. And they did it very well. Until, the Battle of Midway, where it pretty much proved that America can be just as powerful. And then it kind of became obsolete. But yeah, it's kind of accurate for the Kate to be sleek and fast. However, they obviously had to sacrifice, armor. So that explains why the Kate is so weak and can't take too many hits without going down. Now, the Kate in itself is a pretty good torpedo bomber, it gains speed pretty well. It handles nicely if, you know how to handle it. Its armor, its defensive armament is not too good, however. One 7.7mm MG. Now, if you're a very, very precise shot, which I am not, then, this wouldn't be a problem, all you need to do is just land a butt ton of hits on it, and then eventually the plane will go down. Or just aim for a specific area until, aim for the engines or something. Now, it's not dogfighting capable, and all that. It's not supposed to. These guns are here just for an absolute emergency. It's not meant to be dogfighting capable, and Wings of Duty definitely does portray that. It sucks at dogfighting. It just doesn't have the certain turn radius nor energy to pull off, to withstand long dogfights. Now, obviously, we have the classic crew, Charlie and, Phil, in the middle there, being our navigator. Now, what would be a cool feature is for them to add in a navigator. I don't know whether or not I've said this in my previous videos. They should add in a navigator, this could, the navigator could, be used for realistic mode. They wouldn't have the check markers, and instead, you'd have to use your navigator to plan a course there, and then once you plan the course, it'll show a little checkpoint area that you're supposed to go to. This would, I'm not saying that they should implement this in every mode, like historic mode and all that. They're fine. But, like, in realistic mode, they should add in a navigator. You know, for, like, bombers and all that. That'd be really cool. So then, you know, like, you'd actually have to, you know, kind of, multitask. You'd have to plan your course, get your bomber in the air, bomb the targets, and if there were enemies, you had to man the machine guns. I honestly think that'd be a really awesome feature and that they should add it in soon. Because, I mean, just how cool would it be to have a navigator help you out and everything. And another thing they should add, you know, like, chances are that this will probably not happen and this is probably just a pipe dream. But they should add in, you know, where players can play as, like, per se, say I'm the driver and then one of my friends decides to be a back gunner. And, you know, like, then my friend will obviously permanently control the back gunner while I control, you know, the plane and its armament. That'd be really awesome because then, you know, you'd have cases where, like, say you had a bombardier and it required a lot of teamwork, which would be really cool. You know, you'd have to rely on your back gunners to defend, then the back gunners relied on you to, like, get to the destination, drop the bombs, and, like, you know, the bombardier had to rely on you to, well, line up with the target. So, like, it'd be just a really cool system, and then, you know, with the navigator coupled in, you know, everyone would have to rely on the navigator to, well, plan their course so the drivers will know. No, it just seems like a very cool web of ideas. Comment down below what you think they should add in. Like any new planes, just new features, just anything. Anyways, we're on the course. Drop the torpedo and pull off. Now, the Type 91 torpedo isn't the most powerful. Of course, the Mark 13 torpedoes are obviously better, but this one can put a dent in the ship. It can put quite the dent in, and I'm hoping that's what you do. Wow, it reduced it to 10%. You see, this is why you should fly with the squadron of Kates, okay? Because, see, one Kate alone, I should have aimed for the frigates is what I should have done. Because they're softer targets and way more easier to beat. But see, this is why you want a squad of Kates. You know, like, ask your friends, you know, do some Kate squads, and all equip torpedoes, because stuff like that will happen. And it's kind of rage-inducing, because now I have to literally travel all the way back to my carrier, and then rinse and repeat. Now, obviously, you know, like, it's a Type 91 torpedo. It's not powerful. It's not as powerful as a Mark 13 torpedo, which is devastating. But, you know, it gets the job done, and then again, if you have like a formation of Kates, oh, there's Charlie opening up, then, you know, you could do some real damage. Just equip torpedoes, go in, and then just go in for the kill. But yeah, honestly, I think playing the Kate's actually pretty fun. Especially with friends around, you know, like, you could do secret missions, you know, like, have escorts, and just really communicate. And that's what I like about Wings of Duty. It's just, there are times where it can be, like, teamwork based, like, you'd have to rely heavily on your team relied heavily on you, and all that, you know, like, that's just what I love about Wings of Duty, and it'd be cool for them to expand on that with adding, you know, all the new features that I've included. Now, obviously, they don't have to. It's just something I was thinking of, because obviously, you know, IL-2, Battle of Stalingrad, and all that, they already incorporated something similar. You know, players can play as gunners and everything. And I know, but it'd just be cool to see them add it in the Wings of Duty. Of course, it's probably just a pipe dream. But, again, as Wings of Duty showed us, pipe dreams aren't always pipe dreams. They can definitely be achieved. So, now we gotta land in the carrier. The carrier landing is actually really smooth on the Kate. And that's what I love about it. You know, it's a lot more smooth, a lot more easier to deal with, and all that. And It's just pretty simple. Now, of course, you could say this about every naval airplane, but like the A5M and the Kate are probably going to be your only like naval planes for the beginning. Like if you're beginner players, are probably going to be the only naval planes. And it really does teach you like how to land a naval plane, you know, using gears, using your hook. And like for like no joke, for like a very long time, only recently, and when I say recently, I mean a few months ago, have I figured out that, you know, it takes a landing hook to land on a carrier. I always wondered that. I was wondering, like, do they cut their throttle to 0 and then, like, they just come in so slowly that they just, you know, just stick the landing? But no, they use a landing hook, which, of course, stops them in their tracks because the hook is supposed to hook up to a special little wire on the carrier, and, you know, it just kind of stops the Kate. So yeah, that was just me training in the Kate, you know, seeing how it goes and everything. We're gonna end the video off here with, you know, me landing. It may not be the most eventful video, it was just me talking about stuff. But still, I mean, I think I got some stuff out of that, you know, learning how the Kate works, learning the power of the torpedo. Because the torpedoes in this game are definitely really powerful. The only exception is that you have very little of them. And, like, you know, like, in cases like these, you're gonna need a squad with torpedoes if you want to do massive damage. Which I'm, you know, clearly fine with. I mean, you know, team and pack mentality. But, I mean, it really does teach you how torpedoes in the game work. And the Kate is definitely good at that. Type 91 torpedo, in the end, isn't the most powerful. But it can definitely do damage. I mean, I should have targeted the freighters. I should have targeted just the tiny frigates. Because then I would have had a... Oh my gosh. Okay. That's something you wouldn't see every day. Alright. I will stinking land you, Kate. Whether you like it or not. Erg. That's the one thing about carrier landings too, is that you gotta be really close to the carrier deck, but at the same time you don't want to be so close that you actually, you know, hit the carrier and blow up or like fall off. That's another thing about naval landings, but once you get used to it, it's pretty simple. Now, of course, on that time, I guess I kind of fluked out with the altitude. I didn't notice what altitude I was actually going. This time, however, I will land it. Cut throttle all the way down to 0 for safer cruising. And, yeah. I may need a crew here to kind of help me out. I'm dangling on the edge of a carrier. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you for more Wings of Duty.